Hello, 8th grade science. This is our second and last instructional video for Unit 6, Week 3, and this follows your second activity called Air Masses and Ocean Currents Scavenger Hunt. So really the goal of this assignment is we're starting to learn about what is causing this weather and how weather moves, essentially, or kind of what causes it to move as it goes around the earth, things like that. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be reviewing, not really, you're learning, period, what air masses are. So I'll change that because this is your first assignment on air masses, and we'll do more with that. And if you don't remember from your vocab, air masses are just a body of air with a similar temperature. So you're using your knowledge of air masses and you're learning about how ocean currents form and how that spreads that sun's energy that we looked at last week with the Earth's tilt and the seasons and the insolation, those pictures, things like that. The two goals of this is that you can use this really cool simulator that we're going to be using. There are tools to try and find these areas of high and low pressure, and then that you can find some ocean currents and show some understanding in how that plays a role in climate. If you look at our lesson plan portion for this week, we have bell work that's linked. You're going to watch. It's a larger chunk because I think it's like 33 minutes, this whole thing. So rather than chunking it one more time, I'll just have you finish the documentary this week and you can watch it to the end. We'll kind of go through this pear deck, and I'll go through that here in a second. And then there is a CFA to do. So here's kind of your checklist for this week. One set of notes, 2 assignments, and a CFA. Because this assignment 2 is also a little bit longer. Let's go through the pear deck right now. So as with the previous activity, the goal with the pear deck is to start to investigate weather, what's causing it, and this thing that we call the Coriolis effect. So if you were still stuck from the previous activity, I should say, and you're still kind of like, I don't understand this Coriolis effect thing, this will continue to help you kind of think about it a little bit. So you're going to start on the first slide here. And this is March 13th. I don't remember the year. I think this was all my first or second year teaching, so a couple years ago. But you can see this storm here, and you're supposed to write, what direction do you think the storm is moving? So this is the West Coast. This is California. We got Mexico down here. Do you think it's moving to the east or towards the west? And you can write your response there. When we look here, this is the same storm, kind of 2 different images. One is satellite and one is like the radar. And you're trying to write what direction is that storm rotating. So if you look, it's kind of like, I always try and like imagine, you're, don't think people do this, but sometimes I've seen people do this to make like cloth napkins be pretty. They'll spin them in a certain way and it kind of pulls all the rest. You can probably do it with any cloth, really, a towel, whatever. But I just try and imagine like if that were like a handle and I turn it, what would I turn it? So in this case, I'd be turning it counterclockwise to make it, tighter, so to speak. So you could write about that. This is a GIF of it, and I don't know if the GIF will work in Pear Deck. But why do you think the storm circulates like this? Again, this kind of should tie in some of our knowledge about the Coriolis effect and what we talked about, how the Earth is rotating, the clouds are not, so it makes it look like the clouds are rotating in a confusing way. And then the last one is, do you think the force that moved the bomb cyclone, that's what this was called, they called it a bomb cyclone. How do you think it affects weather around the world? Essentially, it causes the other storms and things to rotate and move, things like that. Okay, so that's the explore activity. Tune in for the directions so you know how to do the scavenger hunt, and you should be good to go. Have a great day. Bye.